What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Dubai. This is going to be season number 2, episode number. Hold on, what's this in? Where's it live at? Hold on, why is this thing not live? Okay, is it live? I think so. My bad, you guys. This is your boy JB. We are here today, you guys, with another review for The Real Housewives of Dubai, season 2, episode number 3. This episode is titled "Don't Cross the Caro-Line." So, before we go ahead and get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out of this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and jump into this episode of The Real Housewives of Dubai, shall we? Let us go ahead and jump into my bad, you guys. So, this episode, where are we? This episode here. My bad, you guys. I'm this live. I don't know what's going on because I wasn't showing anything. But this episode, okay, episode, I guess we can say. When it comes to Dubai, I do still sit here. I do think to myself, like, I don't understand why Bravo had it premiere on a Sunday and then moved it to a Tuesday night. I feel like Dubai really did need a lead in, and I think that New Jersey was a good lead in for them. But unfortunately, they decided to go, another route. And I was like, okay. And as you can see, the ratings are not really there for the show. Excuse me. Also, I am a little bit worried when it comes to the Real Housewives of Dubai if they will in fact get a season 3. I mean, I'm okay with Dubai. It's a pretty decent show from me, but we'll see what they do with Dubai going forward. Now, we will start the episode review up, and I'll talk about the scene for me that didn't really give a whole lot, and that would be with Talene. Let me get Talene on the screen here. So Talene, I'm a little confused about her and this whole matchmaking thing. That she says she's doing it because she is Armenian, right? And I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. But when you looked at Sarah and this man, I don't know what made you believe that there would be any kind of a connection between Sarah and this man. Because even with Sarah, we'll talk about her in just a minute, because she was getting ready for the date. But I'm just in there like, there is nothing between Sarah and this man. I was like, maybe a friendship vibe, but anything other than that, I don't see it. I know at one point Sarah asked the man if he spoke Emirati. She also asked him if he spoke what else did she ask him? Oh, if he spoke I think Arabic. But that's what she asked him. And so, like I said, the date was just basically a friendship date. She asked him if he believed in aliens. I was like, Sarah, even I don't believe in aliens, but okay. I mean, if that's what you want to, if that's something that you say is a thing for you, that people believe in aliens, then I guess cool, right? I guess, right? But then after that, she asked him if he had been to jail. Now I was like, wait a minute, why is that a question that we ask if the man has been to jail? And then I believe Talene asked him if he's ever dated a woman with children. Now that is a big thing right there. He said he hasn't. I'm like, ooh, that would be a big thing if you've never dated someone who has children before. So yikes. But I think I don't think, I know when it comes down to Sarah, Sarah friend zoned him, and I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. Like I could see it from episode 2 when she met the man. There was going to be no connection between them. But hey, Talene wanted to play matchmaker, so we're gonna let Talene do what she want to do. Now we will go ahead on. Now we didn't have a scene with Ion in this episode, so since we're talking about Sarah, let's go ahead and discuss Sarah. So we see Sarah, and she's getting ready. Now she wasn't calling this a date with this guy. She just said it was like a group of friends getting together. And I was like, girl, I don't know if it's a group of friends getting together because, again, Tylene is trying to play matchmaker with you and this man. But you know, whatever. If you like it, if that's what you want to call it, if that's what you want to call it, friends getting together, then let's call it that. But that's not really what this was. Now she was getting ready, and her son was there, and I feel bad for Sarah's son because it does seem as if he has definitely been a witness to some of the abusive relationships that she's been in, especially with her last ex-husband. Baby, I would have divorced him immediately when she said that with her last ex-husband that he didn't accept her son. I would have been like, oh no, my child is a package deal. So if you can't accept my child, then you got to pack your bags and go. And I wonder when it comes to this situation with the ex-husband, I wonder if it was a situation of how people show you their representative, and then after a while the mask and the facade starts to come down. So I'm wondering if that's what happened with Sarah and her ex-husband, because I'm sitting here thinking, like, how did that happen where he wasn't he did he make you feel at some point that he would be a good father figure to your son? Like, I wonder if that's what happened, but we don't know. And honestly, she ain't with the man no more, so that's a good thing for her and for her son. But if you guys have any thoughts or opinions on that, definitely feel free to leave them down in the comment section below, you guys. And I'm sorry if you guys hear any noise in the background. Y'all know it's summertime, and my apartment literally faces the pool. So the kids and everybody else, they outside by the pool at this current time. It is almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but my God, they are so loud. But yeah, that's it for Sarah. Now, who do we want to go to next? Because you guys know I skipped one person, and I intentionally skip her, and she was in this episode, and we ain't gonna talk about her too much. But what I will do is bring the cast photo up. So real quickly, you guys know I don't talk about the other black woman on this cast, but what I will say is I don't know what's wrong with that woman. I don't know if it's delusions. I don't know if she was so drunk out of her mind that she didn't remember things that she said and did, because I was correct because I saw a lot of other people who reviewed this show. They thought that she called Stanberry a Bicth, and I know I spelled that wrong intentionally. They thought that she called her a, a B word, right? But no, she did call her a see you next Tuesday. And I was like, here's my thing. I still just don't understand the venom and the vitriol that that woman has when it comes to Stanberry. Like, I don't get it. It's stupid because, like I said like I said after the reunion, they were basically, it was almost as if they were trying to ice Lisa and Ion out of the group last season. So, and those the two Carolines were cool with each other, right? You had the other black woman, you had Stanberry, you had Nina, and you had Sarah, and then on the other side you had Ion and Lisa. And so I'm just so confused how this woman now has an issue with Stanberry, and then she's talking about the fact that she has more loyalty towards Tylene. And my thing is, what Stanberry, what's, I don't know, we don't know what Stanberry said, right? But the problem that I have is the fact that Talene has moved on from it. She ain't holding no ill feelings towards Stanberry. So I don't get why that woman is now holding issues with Stanberry. And she ain't said nothing about your vagina. She said nothing about you, but now you have an issue with her. Then you said you don't remember calling her see you next Tuesday, but she is a bitch. And I was like, my God, girl, again, what is the real issue? What is the beef with you and her? And honestly, it seems like it's one sided because I did see last week on Twitter where people were asking the question of what did Stanberry do to the other black woman to, elicit this response from her. And even she seems confused by it. And I was like, girl, if you confused by it, then that tells me all I need to know right there, right then and there. Because like I said, going back to last season after the reunion, all of them were thick as thieves. And it was them versus Ion and Lisa. So I'm just not understanding it. But hey, maybe it ain't for me to understand. Maybe it's I was really also wondering. It's like, how much did she have to drink? Was another question that I had was how much alcohol did she consume before she got to the party? Because Stanberry walked away from you, so I don't really understand why you had to go as hard as you did, but she did nonetheless, and that is all I got to say about her. If you guys want to discuss her in deeper detail, we can do it in the comment section. And that is all I got for her in this episode. So next up, we will move over to our girl Lisa Milan. So you guys remember in last week's episode, her mom arrived in Dubai, right? I did not realize it took 14 hours to get to Dubai. Like, my God, I don't know if I could sit for that plane ride. I would, ooh, it's bad enough when you have to sit for 2 and 3 hours going somewhere, in the States, but 14 and 14 hours. Damn. I wonder how the pilots do that. Like you got to be taking some kind of caffeine or something, or at least something, because like even with driving, it's like so you take a rest, but you in the air. Now we see Lisa and her mom. So Lisa and her mom, they were in what she said, old Dubai, and they were out, buying some stuff. So then they went down and they had lunch with each other, right? And so Lisa was talking to her mom about her mom relocating to Dubai. And so her mom is just basically telling her how she missed spending time with her. Now, when Lisa gave us the background about her mom and her dad, I was like, oh wow, that's janky as hell. The fact that they came from she's Jamaican, right? I think they came from Jamaica. Is that well? They came to the States because her mom found out that her dad had a whole nother family in Canada that she knew nothing about. And I was like, damn, that's foul as hell. So on top of Lisa asking her mom when is she going to move to Dubai, her mom is also asking her, like, yo, when you gonna move back to Miami? You know what, Lisa? It's something that you could do. What I will say is if the Real Housewives of Dubai don't work out, what because I think I don't think Lisa's a fan favorite. Lisa is a fan favorite for me, and I know that. And I think the fans do like Lisa, right? I think Lisa would be good in Miami, right? I think because I know for a fact that Lisa is friends with Gertie from the Real Housewives of Miami, and I know I know some of the housewives have definitely worn her Mina role. I know I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Dr. Nicole wore some of her stuff, right? I also know that Atlanta. I know that's what's her name? Sonya wore some of her stuff. So she's entwined in the Bravo family, obviously with this show. But I think Lisa, like, girl, if Dubai don't work out, Tell your husband, like, babe, we got to go back to the States. Like, if especially with you being friends with Gertie, I think you would, if you would fit in perfectly with the Miami girls. That's my opinion. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, but below, you guys. But Lisa's mom also said to her that she doesn't want to solely depend on Lisa. And I'm like, I get that, especially for parents, right? They don't want to feel like a burden to their children as they start to get older, right? But I was with Lisa's like, you sacrificed so much for me, so now it's essentially time for me to give back to you. And I'm here for it. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions about that down in the comment section below, you guys. And we are going to go on ahead, you guys. And I think we're wrapping this up because, as I stated, I don't mention that other woman on this channel. She gets no mention from me, and I gave her a brief mention. But we'll wrap the episode up with Stanberry. What I will say about Stanberry, her scenes this episode were interesting to say the least. What I also will say is that this season, because like last season, season one, I was not the biggest Caroline Stanberry fan, and I won't go as far as to say I'm a fan of hers right now, but I will say that I do kind of like her. She hasn't gotten them, excuse me, y'all. She hasn't gotten on my nerves so far. So I'm here for Stanberry. Who I'm still not here for 100% is her husband, Sergio, because Sergio is whiny, Sergio is needy, and Sergio is like a child. Let's be honest about the situation. Sergio's like a child. So, baby, I would have put, now let me be Caroline's friend, Michael. He's a lot nicer than I could be and would be, because I would have been put Caroline and Sergio out of my house, especially if you got a whole lot of your stuff in my house. It's like, girl, you were supposed to stay here for what, 2 weeks? But now you've extended, now that it got extended, I would have pushed Sergio and Caroline out of my house. So Michael is throwing them a going away party, and I don't blame him. Now we see that Ayan had told Caroline about what happened after the party when she walked away from Brooks, and Brooks called her the "see you next Tuesday" work, right? So then we also see as Caroline is doing hypnotherapy, and I've never. I wonder what are the true benefits of doing hypnotherapy, because I've never really looked into it. But hey, she's doing that, right? One thing I always find kind of interesting when it comes to other people, that they send their kids off to boarding school. Me personally, if I have kids, I ain't sending my kids. I wouldn't send my kids to a boarding school. That would just be me. I wouldn't send my children to a boarding school. She went to boarding school from the age of 6 until she was 18 years old. My God, like, how do you do that? Like, how do you just ship your kids off? And you hear horror stories about what happened to the kids when they're in the boarding schools, and I just, I pray for the kids, and it's very interesting to say the least, right? So, my God, they are so loud by that pool. I really hope you guys can hear that, but I'm pretty positive you do, because I'm sitting right here by the damn door, a patio. It's like, my God, y'all gotta be that damn loud. But so yeah, so then the woman went through with the hypnotherapy, right? I don't know how Caroline didn't see this previously, that her relationship with Sergio is mother son at best. And then Sergio heard the conversation. It's like, Sergio, if you were upstairs packing like you were supposed to be doing, you would have never heard that conversation. You would have only heard the conversation when you watched the episode with Caroline. And when it comes to Sergio and Caroline, yeah, I'm starting to see it now. The comment that I think Miss AKA had put in my episode 1 review, about Stanberry and Sergio. Yeah, they're giving Kim and Croy. They're giving Kim and Croy, especially in the aspect that he's always around. And that was the thing with Croy on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Croy was basically Kim's Kendall's, wig maker, makeup artist, all that kind of stuff, right? But Sergio is very needy, and I don't get it. I don't see what Caroline. It's got to be something that we're not seeing because that's just looking at Sergio. The things that he is just nothing attractive about him whining all the time, him being all up under Caroline. It's so unattractive. So then we see as Michael is throwing them this get out party, and we can definitely tell that Michael was ready for those two to get the hell out of his place, right? So then at their party, we were introduced to the new friend of her name is Saba, and she's Sarah's friend. Don't know much about her. I did see that excuse me, I did see that on Instagram that Lisa had tagged her that we would be meeting her last night in last night's episode. What I will say about Saba is hold on some little judgment of you because I noticed that you had judgment for Ayan when Ayan showed up in her outfit that she had on. Is Ayan over the top? Yes. Do I think that some of that stems from Ayan's upbringing? Yes, I do. I think that some of that does stem from her upbringing. I think it's a way to like it's like a coping mechanism. If she looks good and she feels like she looks good, then it's coping with her childhood. So see Stanberry came and sat down with the girls, right? And Stanberry told them that she uninvited the other black woman to the party, and I was okay with it. I was absolutely fine with the fact that she, took rescinded the invite. But then everybody's like, "Oh my God, she shouldn't have done that." And I was like, "Why shouldn't she?" I was like, "Why should she have not done that?" And so then Sarah's gonna be like, "Well, she was drunk," and I was like, "Whoa, ho, ho, pump the brakes, Sarah, because she was drunk." Did you? But you just literally said that Ayan, uses her story as an excuse for her bad behavior, but then here you are trying to excuse what the other black woman did to Stanberry, calling her a "see you next Tuesday," and the venom and the vitriol that she has for her, which makes no sense. So I was just so confused by that, and I'm gonna say it right here and right now. I'm Team Stanberry. I don't feel like she's wrong for not inviting that woman to her party. Because if you are talking crap cash money ish about me, then no, I'm not going to invite you to nothing that I'm having. Like, you can stay at home, you can twiddle your thumbs, you can do whatever you want to do. And so then we see the end of the episode, you guys. This scene it ain't kind of pissed me off. It pissed me off because of how I am as a person, right? If we agree to meet up with each other, if we agree to a time to meet up with each other and have a conversation, do anything of that nature, then I expect for you to value your time and my time and show up on time, right? But no, this woman showed up, not Stanberry. Stanberry was on time. The other black woman showed up and she was almost 30 minutes late to meet with her. And I was like, girl, absolutely not. Stanberry is better than me because I would have got up and I would have walked out of that restaurant and told her, girl, the scene is done. We ain't got to meet up with each other because what you will not do is play with my time. And then when she got there, she was like, "Oh, I'm running a business." What does that have to do with you being late? Like, that has nothing to do with you being late. That is just blatant disrespect to me. Like, that is the ultimate form of disrespect for me is if we say that we're going to meet up somewhere and you show up late. It's one thing if, I know things happen, right? You can have car trouble, your child can get sick, anything can happen, right? But to show up late and then make an excuse for it is a problem for me. If you knew you were going to be late, you could text and say, "Hey, I'm running a few minutes late. I'll be there," and stuff like, because that happens here to that happens to me too, right? I pride myself on being on time places, but there are some times that unforeseen things happen, and I text people. I'm like, "Hey, I know we said we were gonna meet up at this time. I'm running just a little bit late, but I'm definitely coming." And then she wants to talk about the fact that you know when she says that she's going to be there for a friend, she's going to be there for him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And long story short, what the issue is with the other black woman is I think she feels a way that Stanberry has now, become cool with Lisa and Ion. And I'm like, girl, it ain't that damn deep. If she wants to be cool with them, and no one told you to throw your friendship away with Ion because she had an issue with Ion. Grown ass adults can have can have friendships and conversations with people and not necessarily have to talk like. I'll give a good example, right? The same way that how I feel about on the Real Housewives of New Jersey when it comes to Jen Fessler and Teresa, right? I'm okay with Jen Fessler being cool with Teresa, but if your friends have asked you not to have a conversation with that woman about them, that's what Brooks could, and I said her name. That's what she could have done with Ion. Be cool with Ion, right? When it comes down to Ion and Stanberry not liking each other, be like, you know what, y'all don't like each other. I'm still gonna be friends with. I'm gonna be friends with Stanberry, and I'm gonna be friends with Ion. When I'm around both of you guys, I'm not gonna talk about you to her, and I'm not gonna talk about you to her, and leave it at that. But I think the thing is, she takes on other people's beefs, and it's a problem, and it's annoying. It's like, man, you just want a moment, and I'm like I said, I'm really not here for her. Well, I ain't been here for her since last season, but that's all I got, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode of The Real Housewives of Dubai in the comment section. And I will catch you guys in another video, you guys. I don't know what is coming up next, but I got something coming up. But I'll see you guys for the next video, you guys. As always, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, you guys. Be blessed, and I will see you guys later. Bye.